Hello everyone. I meant to do this yesterday, but I wasn't feeling very well, so I didn't get it done then. But anyway, I'm posting my video about The Masked Singer, Season 5, Episode 5, and who was revealed on it and who they were. I said a while ago when I parked in this spot, I said to my son, is this the one spot? It's like next to this great big tree, but like the sun, like the tree doesn't block the sun in this spot. So I don't know how this looks. It looks kind of weird to me. Like half of my face is covered in sun and half of it is not, or something. But anyway, so yes, I'm going to talk about episode 5 of season 5 of The Masked Singer. Did I say dancer a while ago? I kind of feel like I did, but anyway. So the first thing that puzzled me about this episode, I started watching it, and it's like Group B finale, and I was like, wait, Group B, did I miss an episode? And I went back on Hulu and checked the episodes that I had watched to see if I had missed an episode, because they had been doing Group A, Group B, Group A, Group B through the first 4 episodes. So I was a little bit confused, and I came to a conclusion concerning that, which I will discuss later. Anyway, I was eating because I wasn't feeling very good, so I was eating whenever I watched it, and I actually was planning to not take notes whenever I was eating and watching it, and then I was going to go back and watch it again and do my notes, and then I was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and, like, I can't take notes, or I can't, excuse me, sorry, but I was like, I can't watch it and not take notes. It's just, I'm used to doing that. So, but I know that I didn't take a lot of notes on some of the characters, and I didn't get everything written down because of the fact that I was eating. So anyway, the first character that performed was Black Swan. She did a wonderful job, like she always does. And I was listening to her voice. Now, one of the clues that was on hers was a backpack that said Montana on it, and she, like, pushed the backpack away. And I was listening, like, I was like, okay, so, like, this has to be Miley Cyrus, right? Which I did discover, looking back through what the clues for Black Swan are, the one that said that she was dragged around the world around the globe with her family when she was a child. It was actually Seashell, not Black Swan. And I think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there are only 2 female characters on this season, which are Seashell and Black Swan. I could be wrong, but I think that that's right. And I know that there's at least one more character that is still to be revealed, as a wild card character. And before I forget, please subscribe, hit the like button, and feel free to leave any comment about anything that not about anything pertaining to The Masked Singer or other stuff that I talk about in the video. Don't feel free to leave any comment, because the majority of the comments that have been left on my stuff have been deleted because they've been left by pervy people that have made me contemplate whether or not I should say that my videos are made for children, because that way people like that won't be able to leave comments. Anyway, so yes, I was listening to her voice, and I'm like, that does not sound like Miley Cyrus. She actually sounds to me a lot like Emily Osment. And now, I was thinking this before Jenny McCarthy said it, though she was probably thinking it at the same time. And from what I recall from when Hannah Montana was taken off the air, Miley was like, I'm getting too old to be playing a high school student and whatnot and the other, and there were other things that she was wanting to do with her career, so she was wanting to move forward. And I cannot remember if it was on Nick or Disney. I'm kind of thinking Nick, but I could be wrong. But anyway, they offered to allow Emily Osment to have like a spin-off from Hannah Montana. And she did contemplate it, but then she was like, no, I'm not going to go that way. Well, on the last episode, for Group B, which was literally the last episode that aired, episode 4, she said that Oh, wait, no, that's the one where she talked about her mom. Well, anyway, on one of them, she said that she... I hope I'm not confusing characters again, but anyway, pretty sure that she's the one that said that she had stars in her eyes for a Hollywood deal. Luckily for her, her people kept her grounded, and she realized it wasn't the best route for her. So, like, Emily Osment was like, she didn't want her career to be defined by Hannah Montana, even though her and Miley are good friends. So I'm like, yeah, I feel like it could definitely be Emily Osment. But they also showed a black cat that had been scared, and her thing that they found in her home was a unicorn, like a unicorn head statue, a bust of a unicorn, I guess you would call it, because it's like from about here up. Anyway, a little statue type thing. And she said that it commemorates her dear friend who is a singer. And I was thinking to myself when she said that initially, as people who were thinking she sounded like Emily Osment probably were, oh, she's talking about Miley. But then she said that this dear friend passed away. She learned a lot from this friend, and she still has great respect for her. So obviously that's not who she was talking about. That kind of made me think of Whitney Houston. And so I don't know that Emily Osment would have been friends with Whitney Houston, but there are a lot of singers who have passed away, especially with the whole COVID thing going on. So for right now, my guess for Black Swan, though, is Emily Osment. Now, last episode, I had guessed Miley Cyrus for her, which was partly because I was thinking that she was the one that said that she'd been pulled all over the globe by her family as a child, but that was Seashell. And Swan did have a globe in her clues for last time too, though. Black Swan did. So yeah. But yes, for now I have changed my mind on Black Swan, and I'm going with Emily Osment. So the next one that performed was Piglet. They're both, all of them that are left on this season, I think are really good. And they have a thing where you can try and guess the top 6, and if you guess any of them right, you are entered to win some prizes, and I was going to look into that. But I'm like, top 6, I feel like at this point, the top 6 is pretty much, like, we only have about 6 left, right? Because the ones that performed on episode 5 were Black Swan, Piglet, Crab, Chameleon, and Bulldog. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means there would only be one that would be being eliminated after episode 5 for us to guess on. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so I can eliminate one of them. Yeah, I feel like I can do that. Especially since Group A is the only one left to perform. We haven't seen their wild card character yet, though, so we don't know how good or bad that person is. But anyway, as I was saying, Piglet, who still has the Candyland type setting, which is just really intriguing to me. Anyway, when they first showed him, he was in a Hayworth barn, which made me think maybe of a country singer. They showed a lei, like a Hawaiian lei type thing. There were candles, and there was a spider that he used when he was referencing this special person that came into his life, who was a woman, that gave him a new start, and he said he wants to be a family man. So I'm like, well, it's not Brian Luttrell then, because he's already married. And let's see, who was the other one I was considering for... Oh, Zac Efron, who is not married. But yeah, I didn't feel like the clues this time went with him. Okay, so Piglet is the one that had the blinged out dog tags and a letter P, and there was the number 1 with a DR next to it, so that could indicate that it's one doctor or the word wonder. Now, the word wonder, along with the finally deciding he wanted to be a family man, got me thinking about John Mayer, because John Mayer has dated various people, and think perhaps him and Jennifer Aniston were engaged for a while. I don't recall exactly for sure on that, but I had Alexa do a little bit of research for me on John Mayer, and what I discovered is, I forgot to write down his height, but he is about, I think, about the right build and height that he could be Piglet. One of the things that led me to him, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he's the one that sings the song Wonderland, right? Wonderland by John Mayer, pretty sure. And I discovered, like he said, he always wears the dog tags to remind him of someone that's close to him. And of course the letter P also. Well, what I discovered was that John Mayer's father was in World War II. So, I don't recall looking up what his father's name is, but possibly the father's name starts with a P. And so that's why the letter P is with the dog tags. But yes, John Mayer has a connection to the military. He has a connection to Wonder. And, you know, he is not a family man. Now, the barn theme, I'm not 100% sure on, or the Candyland thing, and I could not find my notebook for this that I was originally using, so I need to go on the internet. I found a site that is really good at listing the clues, like all of the clues for all of the people, and even tells all of the songs that they performed and stuff. So I need to go look at that and write the stuff down so I will have those notes. But so yeah, what I have from last episode for Piglet is that he was given 4 days notice, and people always told him not to be a ball hog. So yeah, I didn't really look into any of this for John Mayer. They showed a basketball, football that had that star. The Friday Night Lights, or Friday night anyway, Candyland background. He said that singing love songs is nothing new for him. That's definitely John Mayer. They showed the lockers, indicating maybe he's an athlete. There was the knight in shining armor, and the number 3528, and it said rushing inches, or rushing in. And I still haven't had a chance to look into that for any of the people I was thinking of. It said his first crush is Meg Ryan. Now, see, I could see that totally being John Mayer. That's where I was kind of lost with Brian Luttrell and Zac Efron. I mean, Meg Ryan is great, but I felt like they were a little too young for their first crush to be on Meg Ryan. Sorry, Meg. And there was the helmet with the horse on it that was what led me to Zac Efron, because he was in the Derby Stallion movie, and Brian Luttrell is from Kentucky. But, and yeah, I don't know exactly what the horse would have to do with John Mayer. I don't know what dog tags would have to do with Zac Efron. You know, it's like, my son tells me he thinks that I lean too much on the clues to try to figure out who the people are. Maybe I should just really listen to their voice. Going off of that, to me, Piglet's voice is too low to be Zac Efron's. And I was trying to think back on how, well, I would have to watch all the episodes that he performed on, because I felt like his voice was lower on episode 5 than it normally is. I don't know for sure, but I felt like it was. So, but yeah, for right now, for Piglet, I'm going with John Mayer. Could be totally completely wrong. I don't even remember who the judges guessed for him this time. And that's another thing, this website does list the judges' guesses also, which was something I said that I guessed I should be writing down so that I could try and use those to assist me. Now, Crab, oh, poor Crab, bless his heart. He got way overheated. He dances around a lot when he performs, and his suit looks like it's basically latex. And he got so overheated from dancing around while he was singing and stuff that, like, he had to go backstage and take off his mask for a little while because he was having trouble breathing wearing the costume. It was terrible, but I'm glad that he turned out to be okay. I was afraid that they were going to reveal him, and I was like, no, I want him to be on for longer. He's a good performer and a good singer. But that being said, the clues that I have for Crab for this time is that he said that he was a problem child, which made me think of the movie Problem Child, which of course John Ritter was on, and John Ritter has passed away now. Makes me wonder who played, well, no. I was going to say makes me wonder who played for the problem child, but no, that person would be too young, I feel like. But anyway, they showed a beach, and there was a box of pasta that was like prepackaged macaroni and cheese. There was a clock tower that I'm almost certain was Big Ben. I could be wrong on that, but I'm almost certain it was Big Ben. I am so sorry. I have been taking some pills to help me lose a little bit of weight, and they make my muscles more sore than usual, even though I've been drinking plenty of water. But actually, I decided yesterday to stop taking them because that's part of why I wasn't feeling well. But I'm going to take one before I go to bed at night. Or not before I go to bed, before supper. Anyway. But yes. They showed a knife. He kept indicating that he's very, very close to his mom. And I was going maybe Smokey Robinson from the way he sounded, or John Witherspoon. I keep forgetting that John Witherspoon unfortunately passed away few years back. I had guessed Jaleel White at one point. Janet Jackson is 54 years old, so I'm going maybe it's someone that's around close to the same age that she is, because they said that their first crush was Janet Jackson. He had a bowler hat that he said he wore because he was a huge fan of Sammy Davis Jr., and so when he started performing, he tried to wear it as much as he could. So I was trying to figure out who wore a bowler hat. Who wears a bowler hat? I don't know. And the judges, I thought it was funny because he literally said that he used to wear this bowler hat when he started performing. And they were going, well, this person likes to bowl, and this person is from Bowling Green, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, he literally said that he loved to wear it when he performed. Well, that led me to Nelly, because I remembered that Nelly always wore hats. And then I was like, oh, wait, but Nelly usually wore the baseball hat that was barely sitting on his head and cocked sideways, right? And then I was like, well, who else can I think of that loved to wear hats? And I thought of Neo. He wore hats. I can't think of what those hats are called. I actually meant to look that up. My sister and I used to call them pimp hats. But anyway, his was not a bowler hat. And so I was thinking about Chris Brown. I know these people are not close to well, actually, Neo and Nelly are closer to the age of Janet Jackson than I thought they were. But it got me thinking about Neo. He does wear a lot of hats. Those, I think I already talked about that. I didn't write this down, but I had thought about Chris Brown for a little while whenever I was talking to my son, or when I was watching it, and I was like, I'm not sure that I recall him ever wearing like a bowler hat. I do recall him wearing hats from time to time, and then I was talking to my son about it, and I was like, but wait, I do recall Chris Brown saying that he was a huge Sammy Davis Jr. fan. So perhaps, maybe, and I didn't look up to see how old Chris Brown is either. I know my youngest daughter is 23, and he's a little bit older than her, so I'm thinking he's probably just about 30. Maybe not even quite 30, so I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, he could have had a crush on Janet Jackson still. I mean, my first crush, realistically, was either on Gene Simmons from Kiss. Yes, that's right. Or Mick Jagger. And I want to say they're both about 74 now, and I'm 54, so that's about a 20-year spread. So, doesn't always mean anything. They both looked a lot younger to me back then than they actually were. Or perhaps my first crush was Jermaine Jackson. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but pretty sure he's probably at least in his 60s. Anyway, all crushes aside, yeah, so Crab, right now I'm kind of undecided on. There was someone else that he sort of made me think of. Oh gosh, I can't even think now. I like the Jaleel White one, and I would love for him to be Jaleel White. He performs good, he sings good, but I'm not certain that he's actually a professional singer. Though for a while, I was really thinking he sounded a lot like Smokey Robinson. But yeah. Oh, that's who it was. I didn't even write him down. I need to write him down so I don't forget. Because they showed the great big huge knife and the clock that I'm pretty sure was Big Ben from London, you know. And I think that I recall him doing some singing. Like I said, I'm not absolutely certain that this person is a professional singer. So, the other person that I was thinking of was Gordon Ramsay. Now, I don't know that he would have had a crush on Janet Jackson, but maybe he did, you know. Don't sell Gordon short. The clues that I had for Crab from last week were that he dreamed of being a star. It came in a flash, which would be interesting to look into exactly how he became a star. I mean, I know it has to do with his cooking, but still. As it said, darkness followed him and his family. They showed the painting of Mona Lisa. There was a broken mirror, which made me think of the Jacksons, you know, themselves. It said everyone wanted, when his stardom did come, he said everyone wanted to be like him, but then there was more tragedy. And so, yeah, I was thinking Randy Jackson or Tito Jackson or Jermaine Jackson. Jermaine is too tall to be this person. He said there were twists, turns, and traumas, but his family has stuck together. And he sang originally Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers, which is a really good song. Janet Jackson, of course, as I've said, was his first crush. And there was the number 2 plus 3, which, you know, I'm going like 5. And now I'm trying to think, how many kids does, let's see, I previously had considered for him Bobby Brown. Oh yeah, they showed the bee and the butterfly, which was Gladys Knight and Michelle Williams. And Michelle Williams is playing for Gladys Knight in a biopic movie, which Bobby Brown is in. And I also considered Ralph Carter, who played for Michael on Good Times, because he said we grew up together on Good Times or something along that line. But the family tragedy and all that sort of stuff could possibly be Gordon Ramsay. I'm trying to figure out 2 plus 3. I'm pretty sure it's just totally indicating 5, but I'm not sure what exactly it refers to. Golly, he's got like so many restaurants. He probably has 5 cooking shows, because he's got Kitchen Nightmares, he's got Hell's Kitchen, he's got Master Chef. I know there's more, but yeah. Anyway, so I may actually see, he was talking about wearing a bowler cap. Did he say when he started performing? I'm gonna have to watch this episode again, as I always do, and then I end up not remembering to remake another video. But anyway, trying to remember if he did say that he wore it when he first started acting, or he just said that, or performing, or he said that he just wore it a lot. You know, 'cause, I mean, you could wear a bowler hat and cook. You know. Anyway, and I can see Gordon Ramsay being a huge Sammy Davis Jr. fan. So, yeah. I mean, Sammy Davis Jr. is awesome. Who would not be a fan of his? So, anyway, before I make this video be an hour long, God forbid, I better finish telling you about the other ones. So, Chameleon, I wrote down that he has a child, but I changed my mind on that. And I should have written down exactly what it was that he said. Pretty sure what he said was, I'm doing this for the little chameleon. Okay. doing this for the little chameleon. I don't think he said that he had a child specifically, He indicated that he does martial arts, that he's a big fan of martial arts and does martial arts. Said that he was a huge fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a child. They showed a whole bunch of clocks. They had the time on them that was 3:46, which the judges seemed to get wrong somehow whenever they were talking about area codes and stuff. And I'm like, no, it was 346. So, like, if it's an area code, it's for Indiana, I believe it was. But anyway, I noticed on something that was being carried around that I can't recall what was right now. I think I might have been too tired at the time to even really notice what it was, but I did notice there was a yellow infinity symbol on the side. So I was considering some people from Toy Story that played for Buzz Lightyear. But anyway, and he said that he hopes that his child can someday also be a superhero. Or not his child, he said his little one. Hopes someday his little one can also be a superhero. His special thing they found in his house was hot wings, and he said he likes to cook. There was, on the last episode, there was the taxi that was black and yellow and had peaches on it. So Ken was thinking maybe Wiz Khalifa. And I wrote down, yes, Indiana is where the 346 area code is. He said I forgot what he is, the guy that's giving hints about the other people, said that this isn't, like, Nicole was looking for Chameleon, and he said this isn't the only studio he frequents. So I was like, But anyway, and I was thinking there was a movie called Clockmaster. There's actually a game called Clockmaster, which took me back to the old-timey game that was on the screen. But yeah, like I said, I briefly considered Patrick Warburton and Tim Allen, both who talked for Buzz Lightyear on the Toy Story movies, but I didn't. So, previous clues about Chameleon were about him, like I said, the gaming stuff, stuff that looked like DJ stuff or tech stuff, and he did say something about putting the tech in, what was it he said? He put the tech in super tech, he put the tech in techno, something along that line. I can't remember exactly what it was that he said, and I don't have those written down because I can't find my other notebook, but anyway. So on last week's, he said he's embracing what makes him unique. And like I said, there was the peaches on the taxi thing, there was a fashion deal, the measuring tape measures, and they said something about Taylor. He lost a person he fought to help. He's proud of showing his true colors. Niecy let on like he dated her because he flirted with her when she asked if he did, but that doesn't mean that he did. His first crush was Salma Hayek. They showed cheese that had holes in it. And one of the judges said that his background is a magic fortune telling thing, but I didn't really notice that. But, so, okay, here's where I'm going with this. So, I kept thinking about the game, like the old-time game thing that had, like, the car driving along that it showed on the screen, and the Clockmaster thing being a game, and I went, oh my gosh, I wonder if it's PewDiePie. Everyone knows PewDiePie, and it seems like at one point he said something about everyone would be glad to see that he was on there, indicating that he's someone that is very well known, right? So I did a little bit of research once again, and I discovered that PewDiePie's dad is the CEO of a software company, computer software. So I do recall that Chameleon said that his career wasn't going so well, like his business life wasn't going so well. So he chose to fall back on what his dad taught him, while the judges had got in my head that the stuff that they were showing was DJ equipment because of all of the cords and the big pieces of equipment type stuff that looked like they could be amps or speakers or something like that. Back in the day, computers took up a whole entire room. Some of them still do. So I'm like, no, that's probably computer stuff from back in the day, you know. And his dad is the CEO of a software thing. So with all the gaming stuff and stuff, I would say I'm 86% certain right now that PewDiePie is Chameleon. Now, he doesn't have a child that I could find online. Him and Cutie Pie have her 2 dogs that they consider to be like children, and of course he has kids in games, the most reputable one being his child Deep from Minecraft. So, and that's the game that he initially became known for playing. That's the one that he originally streamed about playing, and that's a pretty old game. And I could make the little vehicle driving across the screen that they showed on the one, I could make that be from Minecraft even. So I've not played Minecraft a lot, but I've seen people play it. So yes, I think that it is PewDiePie, and the Clockmaster thing led me to the fact that that's possibly who it is. And the number 346 on all of the clocks, there's all the clocks, you know, and you got a lot of stuff in games you have to do within a certain amount of time. And when I was looking up stuff about him online, I noticed that a lot of the segments from the actual games that he films, when he's not just streaming playing a game, if he films a clip from part of a game that he did and then he puts it into his video, you know, to show people, the majority of those clips are 3 minutes and 46 seconds long. So I was like, oh, well, yeah. And as I told my son, I can't remember what the other thing was. There was something else that had to do with him that was the number 346, and I can't remember what it was. But yes, I am 86% certain that Chameleon is PewDiePie. I know you're going, yeah, but last week you were like 90% certain that Piglet was probably Zac Efron. Hey, it could still be, because he's not married yet, and he might be deciding that he is ready to become a family man. Who knows? I don't know what Wonder would have to do with him, though. But anyway, maybe I do lean too heavily on the clues. What do y'all think about that? Let me know. So the new character, the wild card, and the reason that I was pretty sure we were doing Group B this week instead of Group A was Bulldog, but not Bulldog. They called him Bulldog. He looked more like a Boston Terrier. Or perhaps a French Bulldog. He certainly looked nothing like an old English Bulldog, which is what I think he was supposed to be. But anyway, and he was all gold, which in and of itself was weird in my opinion. So anyway, they showed the number 80. There was a football. He said that he's been on the field with Panthers and Pit Bulls. There was something said about sexiest. I don't remember what it was. I just wrote down sexiest. I don't know. Anywho, he was a really, really, really good dancer. It showed B99, which someone brought up Brooklyn Nine-Nine for that, one of the judges. I don't remember which one of them it was. They showed a cell phone, and the phones kept ringing and indicating the person is a very busy person. He said that he's played on every green field, which confused me. But now that I think about it, maybe it's like green screen. Maybe. I don't know. There was a classic car they showed. There was the word super on the side of a bowl, indicating that he had something to do with the Super Bowl. There were the letters and number GT80. He said he's a big softy inside. People think he's like he puts on a rough, tough exterior, but he's a big softy inside. And he said he's dedicating his performance to Niecy. I was looking into Bo Jackson for a little bit because of the playing on all fields thingy. They showed SNL, which I was like, I think it indicates that he hosted SNL at one point, Saturday Night Live. It indicates that he hosted it at one point. And he said his dog house is in New York. And then there was the Brooklyn, I wrote down the Brooklyn Nine-Nine thing. But if his dog house is in New York, then the B99 would be, Brooklyn. His house is in New York. But anyway, so the judges had, when Ken, I think it was, mentioned that he was maybe Andy Samberg. And I was like, yeah, I could make him kind of sound like Andy Samberg or Terry Crews, but I'm almost certain that who Bulldog actually is Nick Cannon, because to me that's the only thing that explains Group B going next, because Joey Cantino had mentioned a couple of weeks back that he had seen a clip that had Nick Cannon on it, so he was pretty sure that Nick Cannon was coming back to host the show. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Nick Cannon is going to be one of the characters, and they're going to reveal him as the character before he comes back to the show. Spoiler alert if I didn't already say that, and I probably didn't, but if you're watching this, odds are you've already seen the show anyway, right? Y'all have seen the show, you're fans. That's why you watch my videos, right? Or part of my video. I don't know. Anyhow, so yes, from the time that I realized that they had not shown Group A last week, and I didn't miss an episode, and they went Episode 1, Group A, Episode 2, Group B, Episode 3, Group A, Episode 4, Group B, and all of a sudden, oh, we got to do a flip switch, and Episode 5 is going to be Group B. I was like, I'm pretty sure the new character is going to be Nick Cannon, because why else would they be doing Group B instead of Group A for Episode 5 all of a sudden? Why change that up all of a sudden? So then when it came time to vote, the judges were excited about voting, and they did their initial guesses and stuff, and Niecy said, y'all can go ahead and vote if you want, but the vote's not going to count this week because I'm choosing who goes home. Now, to me, Bulldog's singing tone was kind of the same as Logan Paul's, where it sounded kind of like it was distant or something, which indicated to me that he doesn't sing all the time. And so I was like, oh, she's going to send Bulldog home. They're all like, yeah, Bulldog's great. Yeah, he's doing awesome. Woo, woo, woo. Whatnot and the other. And none of the judges guessed Nick Cannon for the Bulldog, by the way. Anyway, so the person that she did choose to go home was Bulldog. And like when she said, the vote's not really going to count, I'm choosing who gets to go home, I was like, yeah, she's sending home Bulldog, and it's totally Nick Cannon, because why else would they be changing this up also? So, of course, Bulldog turned out to be Nick Cannon. He did do a good job performing, and like I loved watching him dance around, the way that he was dancing around and having such high energy and everything. So, he will come back to hosting the show for Episode 6. And wasn't disappointed at all to see that it was him. But yeah, he did a good job. I was not disappointed with this episode at all. The thing to me that is becoming hard is like that leaves Chameleon, Crab, Piglet, and Black Swan from this group, which Crab is probably the non-best performer of all of those, but he's still really super good, you know what I mean? And I don't even have a list of who the other characters are in this notebook, because I'm not using my regular notebook to do this, because I put that one in storage in my garage and I couldn't find it the other day. So I'm off work Sunday, maybe I'll look for it some more then. But yeah, see, I know there's Seashell, Robopine, who I think both of them would definitely be in the final 6. Seashell, Robopine, whoever their new character was, which I can't remember what was right now. Didn't it have something to do with the beach also? Oh, dadgummit. I cannot remember. Yeah, it's not coming back to me. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, Robopine and Seashell, I'm pretty sure will be in the final 6 and probably in the final 3. And I would say the other one that is probably going to be in the final 3, in my opinion, is probably going to be Piglet. But final 6 wise, I wish I could remember who the other ones are that are in that group. But I know I'm definitely saying Seashell, Robopine for final 6, Piglet, Black Swan, Chameleon. That's 5 right there. I think they've already done this one. Let's see, how many did I say they have left now after sending Bulldog home? 1, 2. Oh, they've still got 4 left in this group. So, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking there were 4 with Bulldog is what I was thinking. But no, there's still 4 after Bulldog got sent home. So, yeah. Anyhow, I am going to go for now. My son is donating plasma as always. Well, not as always. I have been doing some of these from home lately. But anyway, check out some of my other videos if you want to. Subscribe, hit the like button, post a comment, tell me what you think about my thoughts on who people are and what you thought about the flip of the format and all that sort of stuff, if it was obvious to you that Bulldog was Nick Cannon or not. Everyone have a good whatever time of night or day it is in your part of the world. Stay safe and stay positive.